which was figure out what goal you want to reach. And why do we feel like, or why does anybody feel like that fourth step, take the first step towards your goals?
I feel like it's important because as soon as you say, oh, this is just an example, your goal is to become a billionaire by the end of the day. Well, at the end of the year. You keep saying, oh, I'm going to be a billionaire by the end of the year. What are you doing? Like, you keep saying that, what action are you going to put into it? Because we all could say we're going to be a billionaire at the end of the year, but what we doing?
Right. It's just like if somebody want to lose weight. Oh, I'm going to lose weight.
Keep eating fast food.
But you keep eating fast food. Like, are you going to the gym? No. Like, what are you doing? Like,
Cabbage road.
that's unrealistic goals.
All social work treatment plans have goals and objectives.
They
That's
do.
how Medicaid pays you if you don't. Did you tell everybody what you do for work too? You probably.
Yeah, I did, but I'll say it again. I work at Greene County Juvenile Court, rehab side. So I deal with all types of things. Y'all surprised. So, for example, today, while I was a little late, I had a youth who decided she wanted to be disrespectful. I'm about to cuss, okay?
You're like,
I'm about to cuss, okay?
okay.
Okay. She was just saying like, oh, you fucking bitch, and you know, like, bitch, I'll beat your ass and stuff like that. Yeah, so it took me long because we have to document everything. Social worker, you have to document everything. I'm not in there as a social worker. I'm just a youth leader, but you have to document anything because if it didn't document it, it didn't happen. So they take all that documentation and take it to their courts and stuff like that. So, yeah.
So why'd you say she was going to beat your ass?
She was trying to set you off.
Because I hold them accountable. Like, I don't care about the program. Like, I'm realistic. Like, you gotta, like, people here want you to fail. Like, I'm not one of those type of people. I'm gonna tell you up front that somebody right now is wanting you to fail, but you're bigger than that. Like, these kids, the program is the last step before they go to DYS, which is the Department of Youth Services, which is youth prison. Yeah, felony charges. I'm over there with all felony. They're adjudicated on all felony charges. Adjudicated is, you know, as an adult, they'll say, "Oh, you've been found guilty," but they can't be found guilty. They can be adjudicated on these charges. So they are on there facing felony charges, and our program is the last step for them to get treatment before they finish the rest of their time in prison. So, like, I had a kid in there today who I was talking to for a long time before I came over here. I failed him points today. I was holding him accountable for just little simple things. And you give guys 3, and they're going to lose crib at the end of the day, which is like privilege at nighttime. So they stand out for an hour.
Snacks.
Well, not necessarily snacks, but listening to music and stuff like that. But I can answer your question. But he got mad and called me on my name and stuff too. And I'm like, it's not that deep. And he got deeper and deeper where they got more consequences. So I just had to tell him, like, you got 6 years you facing. Do this program for probably a year versus 6 years. Right. Like, come on now, outweigh it. You already got people that's failed you when you were born. He's a Black person. So they already counted you out when you was born. You gonna let them continue to count you out and go towards that way, or you gonna prove them wrong? I'm big on that. And so that's why I'm always that word. Yeah. What was your question?
So, like, in your position, like, do you feel like you have any discretion? Like, say, like, you got to, not an altercation, but, like, say someone's going off at their mouth and, like, you corrected them and they, like, stopped. Like, would you still have to document that?
It depends on the level.
That's right.
Like, so some of my coworkers don't agree with me, but in treatment or like if it's rehabilitation, I feel like in order to rehabilitate a child, you have to, or any person at all, you have to see them at their worst before you can help them to be better. And a lot of them don't agree with me on that, but it is what it is. I still let them be their worst so that I can say, okay, you need to fix this right here. This is where you were wrong. I know you felt like this as a person. I know you feel like this, but as a person, we learn from it. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to have bad days, but if you don't see that person in their bad times, how can you tell them that they have to change this behavior? You know?
Just still having a heart, not always documenting stuff, just having a heart, trying to heal.
No. Because if it's anything that needs to be documented, I'm going to document it. Like, that's one thing for sure. Like, if I got to document, I'm gonna document it, but I'm also gonna be real with you and let you know where you was wrong at. Like, I don't like to sugarcoat nothing. I tell them all the time, like, I don't care if it was director in the building, I'm gonna be me. Period. If they don't like it, then you can fire me and I'll go somewhere else. But I'm never gonna change who I am. Because at the end of the day, you gotta respect these kids as a person first.
Yeah.
Because they look at them as, oh, they're criminals. But you can't define a person by whatever a charge is. Because that happened in the moment. That's not them, you know? But that is the steps to setting a goal. So with that being said,
I have a question. So like I be watching like 60 Days and Beyonce Straight and all of that. So when you said they lose their privilege, do they still have the same privilege as they do, or they child? Like basically, I be seeing like, okay, they get to clean, or like everybody go in, they get to clean up, or they get more phone time privilege. Is that the same thing for them?
no, so their privilege is like at the end of the day, because everybody goes up to bed at 9 o'clock. So if you have priv time, like privilege time, then you stay up for till 10 o'clock, and then you can do whatever, like listen to music or just goof off or whatever. Basically.
So they don't get like extra phone time.
No, they don't get extra phone time. You have to level up. So as you level up based off your behavior, you'll probably get like an extra couple, like 2-3 minutes. So it'll go from like 5 to 8.
So like, do they wear colors?
Sounds like the program I was in the 70s.
Like, do they wear colors like, okay, she wear green, that means she on the first level?
No, they wear the same colors. They wear the same colors.
Are there, like, you know how in prisons, like, there are inmates that are like have been there for a long time and are working to like help the inmates that are still in there, but they're still serving their time. You know what I'm saying? Like
when they work in the kitchen. Or
no, just like a peer. It's kind of like a peer mentor thing type. Like, is there that type of thing? Like, not Big Brother, but like.
No, but I do think that probably would be something good, but then also not really, because the kids there, they wishy-washy, you know? 1 minute they'll take some advice from you, then the next minute they'll be like, who you talking to? Like,
To act tough.
yeah, like we in the same, you know, but they don't do that. But I do encourage for them to, like, if you see your peers doing something they're not supposed to do, then stand up, you know? And then once they do that, they're going above and beyond their character. So we give a thing that's called like an attaboy, attagirl type of certificate for going above and beyond. But yeah. Anybody have any other questions?
So they call them kids the narcs.
The narcs?
Narcs.
They call them criminals, and I hate that.
But I mean, like the kids that tell on the kids or like calling them out.
Snitches?
Like, yes.
Yeah, and they get in trouble for stuff like that. Because, like, we try not to tell, we try to prevent them from bringing street lingo in. And I mean, I'm kind of like up and down on that, because like you gotta see them do the things that they do, because they're gonna go back out and do it. I feel like the only thing that they do is kind of like more so mask the behavior while they're there, like they put on the front, because they're not able to show who they really are, and then they go back out in the streets, they're doing the exact same thing, and people already tell you like, oh, they're gonna be in a dark prison for the rest of their lives. And I just cut people off when they say stuff like that, because don't speak that on them. You speaking dead negativity on them, and that's just not that. That's really just. How'd
you get that job?
Okay, so I used to work at Eastway Behavioral Health in Dayton, where I was working with similar kind of things, but there wasn't felonies. And it could be at Eastway, it's either like you can come there from the judge for behavioral or whatever you were in the course for, or you can come there from like child and family services, family reunification or whatever. And like me personally, I always wanted to work with juvenile youth. Like that's when I graduate, that's what I want to work with. I just feel like youth are our future, and they always count them out. It's like, yeah, and they always count them out. So I was like, I want to do something a little different. And at Eastway, we used to get down in there. We used to do real restraints on the floor, and I'm like, I'm tired of this. I want to go, deal with some people a little bit older. And so I came over there. We got 21-year-olds in there, so they're not much older than us. Like, I'm only 24. So it's like, we got kids as little as 14 and 21. And I should have brought it in here, but I got a kid that just got released last week. And he wrote me a letter basically telling me about how much I was an impact on his stay there, and like little stuff that I told him that he'd take into consideration. I'm not saying that every kid would do it, but like if you can at least make an impact on one kid, then I feel like you did enough. You did your job. You did your due diligence. So that's I'm a big advocate for juvenile youth because,
Definitely.
like I said, they count them out. They call them criminals, and they're going to be in jail for the rest of their lives. But in reality, it's just that as time go on, like we all in different generations, the parenting styles and stuff differ. And sometimes kids just want to be felt like that someone cares and that they are loved. You know what I mean? But that's fine.
What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Capricorn.
Yes, ma'am.
January 10th.
I'm the 15th.
Okay.
You got any like contact information? I just feel like we're here, like.
I'm serious. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not.
No, y'all cannot have my classmate number. No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might just change my whole perspective on juveniles.
You got your card?
Even like.
Yeah, like, do you have a business
They
card?
probably do give you business cards.
Once you graduate, I'm gonna need a mentor.
You definitely just hit everybody in the right spot.
That was all the work I did up until.
No, yours was inside.
And your first felonies usually could be at like 13, 14. I know there's younger kids that get them, but
Yeah.
that was for me.
Yeah, the youngest kid that was just in there. Oh, we have a kid that's 13. We got a kid in there that's 13, and then one of the kids that just left, he turned 14 while he was in there. So he's been there for like little over a year.
Have you seen the show Girls Incarcerated?
I don't like watching stuff like that. I feel like it's depressing.
Yeah.
So because this
I'm
computer
sorry,
died,
that
you
was
actually have
not-
two links on yours. The
Oh, okay.
first one starts at 3:07, and the second one probably starts at 3:30.
But yeah, I don't care. Y'all can do my number. I don't care. You reach out.
Do they have
I'm not gonna give it
interns?
to on YouTube though.
I'm like, dang, is that enough?
Okay.
Right. Oh yeah, I can end it. I'm sorry. So there we go. Class is